In this chapter, we're going to talk about network programming in Java. Primarily, we're going to talk about how to work with TCP/IP and how to work with HTTP, two common protocols that are part of network programming. Normally, you'd start out with TCP/IP, but we're going to start out with using the HTTP protocol to work with URLs. So let's get started. We're going to call this program urlprog.java. To do network programming, we need to use the net set of classes, so we need to import java.net.star. We're also going to be doing some I/O, so we're going to need the I/O libraries or classes also. So the first thing we need to know is that most of the time with network programming, methods have to be able to throw exceptions. So in this example, main is going to throw an exception if we have problems making connections. What we're going to do in this program is connect to a website and get some basic information about the website and display all the content in the website in character form. So to get started, the first thing we have to do is we have to create a URL, Uniform Resource Locator object. And it's very easy to do. We simply provide the URL to a website. And that's the full URL, including the http:// just as you see right there. And this will work for any website at all. So you can replace infiniteskills.com with whatever website you want to look for. The first thing we're going to do is display some just basic information. And really just three things. Let's print a blank line here. Now we're ready to start. First thing we want to see is the protocol, which we know, but we want to see how to return it. We get it using a method called getProtocol, which we call off of our URL object. Next, we want to see what port we connected to. So we'll call the getPort method. And then finally, we want to see what the host is for this site. So we're going to call the getHost method. So let's go ahead and compile and run this program. So our protocol is HTTP, port is -1, and our host is www.infiniteskills.com. Next, we want to display the content of the website. In other words, the raw HTML. To do that, we have to create another object, and that's called a URL connection object. So the call is URL connection, then the name of our connection object. To do that, we call the open connection method of our URL object. So once we've opened our connection, next thing we want to do is check to see if there's content. And we do that by checking the length of the content that we returned when we open the connection. So that's what we're doing right here. We're saying int content_len is equal to thecon.getContentLength. And we're going to need an int variable to store the characters as we read them. So I'll declare that now. Then we write if content length is not equal to 0, then we're ready to display the content. So we'll put a little header, then a blank line. Then we create an input stream object from which we're going to read the characters as they come across our connection. And we have a little while loop that runs while there's more content to read. Then we read a character, convert it to a char, to a character, data type, until we're out of data to read. And we close our input object, close off the if statement. Otherwise, we'll write a nice little message. Sorry, no content. And we're done. Let's save our program. Clear the screen. Compile. And then run. And as you can see, we have a whole lot of HTML to go through. Now, this information by itself, while not worthless, isn't worth much. we'd probably want to save it to a file and then search it for specific content, and we're going to learn how to do that in the exercise for this chapter. But in this lesson, I just wanted to demonstrate how to make a connection to a website and retrieve the content, and as you can see, very simple to do. So with that, we're ready to move on to the next lesson where we're going to look at how to communicate via TCP/IP.